Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that every border on Earth has vanished. No passports, no visas, no customs, no immigration lines. Every nation, from the United States to Japan, Brazil to India, Nigeria to Australia, has become part of a single global nation. One flag, one government, one economy, one military. For the first time in human history, nearly 8 billion people wake up as citizens of the same country. At first, the world celebrates. People flood the streets. Families separated by borders reunite. Flights continue, but no one checks your nationality anymore. Television stations call it the new beginning. But beneath the celebration lies a question humanity has never had to answer. Can one government truly govern the entire planet? The celebrations don't last long. Someone has to lead the new world. Who becomes president? Does America lead because of its economy? Does China because of its population? Or should every citizen vote for one global leader? The election becomes the largest in human history. Billions cast their votes. For the first time, a farmer in Kenya, a teacher in France, a software engineer in California, a fisherman in Indonesia, all vote for the exact same government. The world's parliament now includes representatives from every culture, every language and every continent. But disagreements appear almost immediately. Some countries demand more freedom. Others demand stricter control. The challenge isn't defeating enemies anymore. It's managing humanity itself. The next revolution comes from money. The US dollar, the euro, the yen, the rupee. Every currency disappears. A single digital currency replaces them all. At first, international trade becomes effortless. Businesses no longer worry about exchange rates. Tourists travel without converting money. Global companies expand faster than ever before. But there is another side. If inflation strikes, the entire planet suffers together. If the economy crashes, there is nowhere safe to escape. For the first time in history, one financial decision affects every human being on Earth. Prosperity has never been so connected, nor so fragile. Without countries, who would fight whom? National armies merge into one global defense force. Thousands of military bases close forever. Missiles once aimed at neighboring nations are dismantled. Defense budgets shift toward healthcare, education, space exploration, disease research. For the first time, world leaders dream of lasting peace. But conflict doesn't disappear. Instead of nations fighting nations, people begin arguing over ideology, religion, resources, power. History reminds us, removing borders doesn't remove human differences. Peace is more than the absence of war. It requires trust, and trust is much harder to build. Perhaps the greatest change isn't political. It's cultural. People move freely across continents. Cities become melting pots unlike anything history has seen. Children grow up speaking multiple languages. Schools teach world history, not national history. Food, music, movies, fashion, everything blends together. But some begin asking difficult questions. Will local traditions survive? Will ancient languages disappear? Can humanity become one people, without losing what makes each culture unique? The future becomes a balancing act. Unity, without uniformity. Progress, without forgetting the past. Because the true strength of Earth has never been that we are all the same. It's that we are different, yet capable of living together. Imagine a world where your chance of surviving an illness no longer depends on where you were born. The new global government creates a single healthcare system. Medical records are stored securely in one worldwide network. A doctor in Tokyo can instantly access the same information as a surgeon in New York. New vaccines are developed through global cooperation instead of international competition. Rare diseases receive funding because billions of people contribute to one healthcare budget. Mobile hospitals travel to the poorest regions on Earth. Children in remote villages receive the same life-saving treatments available in the world's richest cities. But soon, difficult questions emerge. Who decides which treatments receive funding? Should wealthy regions pay more to support poorer ones? How long can one healthcare system serve nearly 8 billion people without becoming overwhelmed? For the first time, healthcare becomes a shared responsibility for all humanity. The dream of equal care is inspiring, but turning that dream into reality proves far more complicated. Climate change is no longer a political debate between nations. It becomes everyone's responsibility. Coal plants are replaced with renewable energy on a global scale. Massive solar farms stretch across deserts. Offshore wind farms power entire continents. Rainforests are protected under one environmental law. Illegal deforestation ends almost overnight. Millions of volunteers plant forests where deserts once expanded. Plastic pollution begins disappearing from the oceans. Carbon emissions fall faster than scientists ever imagined. For the first time in history, humanity works as one team against a common enemy. But these changes come at a cost. Entire industries disappear. Millions of workers need new careers. The world must decide, how much comfort are we willing to sacrifice to protect the only home we have? Without separate countries, there is only one legal system, one constitution, one Supreme Court. Criminals can no longer escape justice simply by crossing international borders. Human trafficking networks collapse. Cybercriminals face one unified global investigation. International corruption becomes harder to hide. But creating one law for everyone brings impossible challenges. Different cultures hold different beliefs. Some societies value absolute freedom. Others prioritize collective responsibility. Can one legal system respect every tradition while remaining fair to everyone? Every decision sparks debate. Justice becomes universal, but agreement becomes increasingly difficult. Because humanity shares one planet, yet billions of different perspectives. Without competing nations, space exploration changes forever. Instead of separate missions, every country contributes to one enormous space program. The world's brightest engineers work side by side. Budgets once spent on military competition now fund scientific discovery. A permanent city rises on the Moon. The first humans land on Mars. Asteroid mining provides resources without damaging Earth's environment. Children grow up dreaming not of becoming American astronauts, or Chinese astronauts, or Indian astronauts, but astronauts for humanity. The stars no longer belong to one nation. They belong to everyone. For the first time, Earth truly becomes one civilization exploring the universe together. The idea of one global country sounds inspiring. No borders, no international wars, shared technology, equal opportunities, a united effort to solve humanity's greatest challenges. But history teaches us something important. The greatest obstacles have never been mountains, or oceans, or borders drawn on maps. They have always existed inside people. Different beliefs, different cultures, different dreams. A single government could unite humanity, or create the greatest political challenge ever attempted. Perhaps the future doesn't require one country. Perhaps it simply requires better cooperation. A world where nations remain unique, yet work together when it matters most. Because our greatest identity isn't American, Chinese, Brazilian, Indian, or Nigerian. Before anything else, we are all passengers on one small blue planet. And no matter where we live, its future belongs to every one of us. So here's the question. If Earth truly became one giant country, would humanity finally unite? Or would we simply create even bigger divisions? What do you think? Tell us in the comments below. If this world became reality, would humanity thrive, or would new challenges replace the old ones? Share your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more thought-provoking journeys into the world's biggest, what-if, questions.